Hello everybody, Adventure Lemming here. Today I thought I would talk about something other than traditional adventure bikes. Any bike can be an adventure bike because when you ride a motorcycle other than commuting, it is in its own way an adventure. And I thought I would do a video on this bike because this is my one of my three bikes. My other bike is this one, 1982 Yamaha Maxim XJ650 that I bought before COVID, and well, you know, COVID, that whole thing put it on hold, and wasn't able to do anything with it as of yet. After COVID was over, I was really stressed out, not working. All the things, if you remember back in those days, that were going on in the world really left a bad taste in my mouth. Up to that point, I was saving every penny for retirement. I thought I would deny myself things that I wanted now and enjoy life later. Well, COVID and all the other nonsense that was going on in the world at that time made me rethink that. So I sold some investments and bought this motorcycle. This is a 2021 CSC SG250. CSC is a retailer out of Azusa, California. They import and sell these motorcycles. They are made by Zongshen, a Chinese company. It is, from what I understand, China's second largest motorcycle manufacturer. They turn out something like 4 million motors a year. They do make engine parts for Japanese bikes, Italian bikes like Aprilia, Piaggio, and yes, Harley Davidson lovers for Harley Davidson. So when you're, you know, plunking down $50,000 for a Harley Davidson, just keep in mind that it's not all entirely American made. Sorry, but that's the truth. So this is as you can see, kind of a cafe racer style. This motor is air cooled. It's 229 cc's. It is carbureted. It has a kickstarter and an electric start. This motor was developed in the 1970s for third world countries because the motors that they were sending there, that were the same motors that they put on bikes to be sold in the United States and Europe, were failing because the maintenance was not being done properly. So Honda engineers developed this engine. This is called the CG motor. I believe it came in 125 cc or 150 cc's. I'm not exactly sure, but this one is obviously bigger. Puts out 16 big horses. And this is the bike that I bought to learn how to ride a motorcycle on, because when I bought that, I've never ridden a motorcycle in my life. And I was so ready to enjoy life, because at that time I realized, you know what, I could drop dead any minute. And I might as well have some fun before I leave this earth. So I bought this motorcycle. You order it online off their website. I'm not affiliated with CSC at all. I'm just a fan of these bikes. This bike cost me $3,000 delivered to my door. They're about $2,200, but after taxes and shipping, which I think is like $450 or something like that, it came to $3,000, and it's more than others because I got the upgraded seat. The seats that come on these suck. This seat is pretty comfortable. I can ride an hour on this bike before I start getting uncomfortable. The chains that come on these bikes aren't very good, so I got the upgraded gold chain, and you can't see it, but I put a 16-tooth sprocket on it for smoother operation at high speeds. Upgraded the mirrors. The mirrors are worthless that come on these. They vibrate. They're terrible. They don't show much. Plus, cafe racers should have bar-end mirrors. That's just my personal philosophy. Has a 4-gallon gas tank, which is huge, so it's very cheap to operate. It gets great gas mileage, well over 50 miles a gallon. I'm not exactly sure. It is a $3,000 motorcycle, so like this is terrible. I'm going to upgrade these when I get a chance, and of course this bent because I did lay it down once. This is garbage. And but you know, it has LED headlight. It has a disc brake, inverted forks, disc on the back. It has LED headlight, LED turn signals, but an incandescent brake light. So, you know, it's far from perfect. Motorcycles aren't all perfect, and when you get something like this, well, this is what you get. It does have the reservoir rear shocks. It rides very nice. I have not adjusted these in any way, shape, or form. I'm pretty much happy with it. It's filthy because it was in my driveway, which has a huge tree and a million birds in it, and they crap all over it. So I cleared some space and brought it in here. Let's start it up and take a look at how it sounds, because to me, the sound of a motorcycle is a huge part of riding a motorcycle. My 390 Adventure, you can't hear anything. So we gotta turn the petcock on. This bike has a little under 8,000 miles. I've had no problems with it. Well, one problem. The starter solenoid went bad. It sounds like a motorcycle. That's what a motorcycle should sound like. Motorcycles are too quiet. As you can see, we have fuel gauge, battery, speedometer, tach, all kinds of information here. I hate digital dashboards. If you're gonna have a modern retro, there should be an analog gauge. Let's see, what was I gonna say? So yeah, this bike is very flickable, even with these Chinese retro style tires. Believe it or not, this thing is fun in the corners. Turn on the headlight so you can see what it looks like. Has this kind of cool ring to it. Running light. Horn works good. Maybe it has to be, I don't know. Oh, pressing the wrong button there. Anyway, this is the bike I bought to learn on. 16 horsepower, it's not going to get away from you. And I'm a minimalist kind of, I like simple machinery. And this is pretty simple. Valve adjustments, incredibly easy, 15 minutes. You just turn the flywheel. Let me get around to this side. You remove this, and there's a mark for top dead center on the flywheel. You put it there, you remove the valve cover there. 10mm wrench, feeler gauges, you adjust it, tighten it down, and you're off, ready to go. So I hope you liked my review or my introduction of this bike, because again, as I said, any motorcycle can be an adventure bike. It doesn't necessarily have to be a bike that you take off-road or on dirt. There is a scrambler package you can get for this bike through CSC. It puts knobby tires on it and scrambler handlebars, but there's no, skid plate or anything like that, so I wouldn't do that. Plus, I love cafe racers. I'm a big fan of 1960s British motorcycles, and this is kind of like those, and it gives me the feeling of what those bikes are like, except for it's dog slow. But it doesn't matter. It puts a smile on my face, and as long as a motorcycle puts a smile on your face, it's a good bike. And this is a good bike. I know there's a lot of people who don't like Chinese motorcycles, say they're junk and stuff, but I'm 55 years old. I remember when Japanese cars were starting to come on the market, and I lived in Michigan at the time, when American car manufacturers were struggling and nobody wanted a Japanese car. There was so much hatred towards Japanese cars. It wasn't even funny, and the whole thing with the Chinese motorcycle is pretty much the same. I'm not a fan of China as a country, of course, and but the people of China, you know, they're not exactly what China's completely about. So if I can help put a little bit of money in people's pockets that live in China to build this motorcycle, then I'd be happy to help them. So anyway, that concludes this video. Hope you learned something. I did want to say the customer service for CSC motorcycles is second to none. These people will call you back 600 times to solve any issue you have with your bikes. The only problem is finding a shop in your town that work on them, because they are afraid that they're not going to be able to get parts. But CSC parts stocks a lot of parts for these bikes, and that's not exactly a concern for CSC. Because CSC is one retailer, they have to go above and beyond to sell their products, and they do. You can get a hold of them. They will return your call. They will stay on the phone with you to diagnose any issues you have with these bikes. And they have all kinds of different bikes. Again, I'm not being paid by CSC. I really like these bikes. I like simplicity. And for $3,000 to learn how to ride a motorcycle, it was well worth it. A lot of people say you get bored with them after a while. Not me, because I love vintage bikes. If I could afford an old Triumph or BSA or Royal Enfield or something like that, I would definitely buy one. But for now, I have to settle for this. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. And everybody, please like and subscribe if you like this video or any of my other videos. I'm trying to build my channel. So thank you very much, and have a great day. Take care.